I feel tired. But if I get this workout out of the way, 3, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Whew. Get kind of tired. Oh, guys, I can't go all the way down low. Ooh, because I did all those squats. I can't be doing all that bending because my legs are killing me, bro. Getting so tired right now. But no pain, no gain, right? So. 6, 7, 8. Ouch. 10. Oh. Ooh, hurt my hip. My hip. It hurt in my hip, not right here. It hurt right here. Oh. Ooh. It's like my energy just gets so drained, dude. But I worked out yesterday, the day before. So I think it was Wednesday. Monday, Tuesday I didn't work out. I really wanted to, but see, Wednesday came around and I went and I did what? I did my deadlifts and my bent over rows. And then I did my squats the next day. And I went walking. So, you know, whatever. Something sticky here. I decided, since I don't go walking in the mornings, or early in the mornings, if I don't get the chance, I'll probably work out in the mornings when my mom picks up my dad. I usually make content, making videos of playing games, but you know, it's no big deal. I just work out. Walking later. What did he say? I'm doing cardio, I guess. I'll do cardio again, so just depends on how much the intensity that you do. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. No one watches my shit. I feel so tired, dude. I feel so tired. I found this really funny clip yesterday. I was watching a lot of it. It was a guy who plays Roblox, and he talks to people on there. And he portrays an old man in the game with an old man character. He's like, oh, and he's breathing all hard. He's like, you know, and he's really funny, dude. That shit's funny. It's like a funny Roblox character. It's really funny. I was thinking about playing Roblox, but I was like, there's a lot of kids in there. I don't want to play that shit. I don't want to play Fortnite either. I'd rather play games that's, you know, not a kid. I don't know don't play no kid game. I'll play World of Warcraft, and I'll play Elder Scrolls. Was I gonna do it again? Oh, okay. 1, 2, 3, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. If you guys are on my channel, just hit the like button, subscribe, follow, share. I mean, if you want. I know you're probably like, where's your weight loss journey? I'm trying, man. I'm trying. I'm doing the best that I can to eat good. Hot. Hey y'all, what's going on? I'm not doing weights today because I'm trying to give it like a rest. I feel tired from all the squats that I did yesterday. I did so many squats, and then I did so many overhead chest press. I'm alright. I'm just overweight, dude. If I was to eat healthy and start, you know, I feel a change. You might not see it, but I feel a change, dude. I don't need no encouragement. Appreciate it. Alright, why don't you do some jumping jacks? I'm not outside, player. I don't want to bring everything else down in here. Feel me? The games I really want to play: Gran Turismo, Elder Scrolls Skyrim. I'm very close to getting Elder Scrolls Skyrim, dude. I'm really close, guys. And even if I do want to play video games, I'd rather work out, bro. I'd rather work out. It feels good to work out, man. I almost didn't work out. I almost stayed and watched people play video games because I can't play video games as much. I almost played video games today. I was like, I'm tired. Then I'm like, my eyes hurt. I feel tired. I really wanted to rest, but I said, man, rest is for losers, man. You know? Plus, I'm keeping myself in shape just in case anybody want to start something, dude. You know? If anybody starts something, be like, hey, man, I'll be like this. Just run. Because I'm blind. Was that funny, guys? Is that funny? I said to myself, man, I want to look good for summer. My stomach sticks out, dude. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Hey, what's this? Oh, it's probably not. Oh. Do it again. Oh yeah, all those flies went from something I had to kill a lot of them. I don't see too many of them now. I had to kill a lot of them, bro. I do push-ups with like 6 flies on the floor right now. Oh, y'all comment. I'm sorry, I can't read your comment. I'm almost done working out. Really, I'm almost done. I'm almost done. I'm telling you. It's like I feel kind of energized, but almost done, guys. Almost. I mean, I'm not supposed to be spending that much time on cardio because I got to do cardio again probably later today. I like lifting weights. I really wish I had a gym membership if I had money. But even still, I don't want to go back to Planet Fitness, dude. There's so many people there. Even when you go in the mornings, like 5, 6, 7 people. And then when I go in there, more people come in. I want to be alone. And then when I do go, when it's later in the day, tons of people. Ching, wow. And they take all the treadmills, which I don't care. And then there's some people that take the weights and they take forever. I'm like, shit. That's why I want to like see if I can buy my own weights. I love video games, guys. Don't get me wrong, but I can't see so good. So I'd rather play video games. I mean, I'd rather work out. Or I'd rather go walking if I can. Because it calms me. You know, it gives me a different perspective. Some people don't have time to work out. Get it when you can. Sometimes you got to focus. If you got the day off next day, go for it. You feel tired and you know you need a rest and then you need to work out, go for it. If you feel depressed and down and it takes you about a week for you to get back in, do it. It's not a race. You're not in a competition to see who's going to lose the weight the fastest or who can lift weights the heaviest. Don't get me wrong, I miss bench press. I miss bench press and I miss the weights, you know, but I only spent about an hour. I would spend about an hour and 30 minutes. Me and my dad would just go pow, 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 just pumping iron, pumping the weights, dude. And we would go from heavy to light, we would go light to heavy, heavy to light. And my dad always could beat me on those machines, man. He's like, my dad's 70 something years old, man. And he was catching up, man. I was like, how the hell? For me, I was able to lift heavier because I was heavier, you know? So, if you see my father, he's like real skinny. Me, I'm really overweight. What was I doing? Ow, fuck! Ow, fuck! I love to bring my parents to the gym, man. It's fun. I have no one else. I used to go working out with my friends when I worked at Taco Bell. It was me. I was the only one going at 4 o'clock in the morning. And one of my managers was like, hey, I want to go back to the gym. I said, why don't you? He goes, I don't have time. I said, well, I go at 4 o'clock in the morning. This was like 3 years ago. Wait. What happened? 7 years ago. 7 or 8 years ago. It happens, damn, 7, 8 years ago? And so, not 3 years ago, 7, 8 years ago, the manager guy was like, hey, you know, I need to work out again. I said, why don't you go ahead, man? And he's like, I don't have time, man. I was like, okay, well, I go at 4 in the morning. He goes, oh, for real? You got a plan to... I was like, yeah. He goes, all right, I'll go with you. He goes, what time are you going to go? I said, 4. He goes, you ain't got to go at 3 or 4 in the morning. I said, yeah. So then, you know, he goes, all right, let's go work out at 3 or 4 in the morning. So we leave work. It's 4 in the morning, 4 in the morning. I message him. I'm like, hey, man, you going to get ready to work? You going to get ready to work out? And then he was like, man, I thought you were bullshit, man. I thought you were just going to stay asleep. Nah, he goes, all right. So he got ready. He went. He's like, wait for me when I get there. I don't want you to know. I said, okay. We started working out. And then the next day, he thought I was bullshit, wasn't going to do it again. And then the next day and the next day. And finally, we made it into a routine. And we go eat. We work out. And we go home. Or we go work out and probably go get something to eat. Like breakfast, protein. At the time I could see, and I was driving myself to the gym. This was about 7 to 8 years ago. 2020. 2019. And, 2020. And, I guess it was, I don't know. So, I mean, yeah, man, the end of 2019, 2020, we all started hanging out more, and then more of the coworkers wanted to work out with us. More of the coworkers wanted to work out with us at the same time. So eventually it was 2 of us, and then it was 3, and then everybody was like, hey, you're working out? Yeah. Can I come? Yeah. And then it was 4 or 5. Eventually it got up to 6, 7, 8. 8 of us that all knew each other and worked out in the morning time. Everybody wanted to go. Everybody wanted to say, hey, man, can I work out with you? I was like, dude, I'm not the one that started it, dude. We're just working out. What the fuck? This ain't no meet up. I'm not the leader. Fuck. And then we would have to go to work at Taco Bell. But you see, I wouldn't have to go in till about 5 or 6. Then get out at 12 or 2 in the morning. Eventually it changed because COVID hit really bad. And we had to start working at 9 o'clock in the morning. So we would have to find a way to go early in the morning to the gym at 4. get it done, go home, rest for just a little bit, get up, get ready for work, go in at 9, then get out to close to 8, and then we would get out at 8 because it would close by 7:30. We had to open and close the store. Or I think we got it at 9. And waking up so early in the morning. But we were all friends. We'd all play around. We'd all work out and have fun and just make fun of each other and just have fun, dude. And I can't believe at one point, man, there was like 8 or 9 of us there. Man, it was working out. I would tell one of my good friends to be like, hey, man, just come to the gym with me, bro. And like, nah, I don't want to work out. I don't want to work out. As soon as all of us started working out, hanging out, hey, man, you think I can join? And plus, you know, Planet Fitness lets you have somebody else. So, it wasn't bad. We were seriously working out, dude. We were hitting bench press. All that stuff, dude. Fun time. Almost done, guys. Almost done. Whew. It's hot. But then it didn't last that long. As soon as July came around, I ended up getting fired. My manager guy got fired. My good friend. And then I got fired after that. Ever since then, we just all stopped working out together. But after the last time I started working out again, they all met up with me. They were like, where you at? I was like, I'm at the gym. They all came and saw me. All the ones that worked at Taco Bell. Because he got hired back again. And he wanted to hire me back. He was like, hey man, I want you back. I want you back in the store working. And I was like, nah, man. He's like, come on, man. And the ones that I used to work out with, the ones I would hang out with, had a good time. They were all there, dude. All at the gym, working out. They're all like, come on. And I should have went back. I really should have went back. I really, really, really wish I would have went back. Because I ended up finding another job. I ended up working at Whataburger, and which wasn't so bad. I ended up working overnight shift, graveyard shift. I couldn't handle it. I couldn't handle it. They knew that I was a manager at another store, so they wanted me to be a cash register, cook, make the food, be on drive-through, put up stuff. I was like, shit, dude. I couldn't be trained in one area at one time. So, and if you're overnight graveyard shift, there's not a lot of people that want to work that shift and stay. And then when it comes time for morning, it gets packed. It gets busy in the breakfast time too. And then as soon as 8 o'clock, when it's time for you to leave by, I think 8 in the morning, from 10 at night to 8 in the morning at Whataburger, not a lot of people show up for their breakfast time shift. So you got to stay a little longer. I was like, shit, why? And I wasn't good. I was just learning how to do the stuff and learning the new stuff they were making, and it was hell. Plus, not a lot of people came into their shift, so you had to work and stay with somebody, and I fought. It was alright though, I guess. I should have stayed at Whataburger. I really should have stayed at Whataburger, man. Overnight shift. Back when I had my sight, but I had my glasses on, man. I was nearsighted. It was hard for me to see because I always had surgeries. Fucking hated it, dude. And then I should have stayed at Whataburger because I was getting paid. What was I getting paid? I was getting paid 11 something an hour, dude. 11 something an hour. At the time it was 2020. Or, yeah, 2020. I was getting paid. I didn't last that long. I was working 2020 when I had my eyesight still. It was kind of bad, but I still had my eyesight. I had my center vision. And I was working graveyard shifts. I would have to work 4 days and I would be off 3, right? And I should have stayed, man. There was this one lady that said, I could have changed your schedule if you would have came in, man. All you had to do was come in and you would have been off Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. I said, fuck. It wasn't bad. It's just, imagine being thrown into a place and you got to learn everything right then and there. You got to do cash. You got to do cash register. And they made you wear the gloves because of COVID, and you had to change it every time. Fucking sucked, dude. And I couldn't be just on the grill. I had to make the food and, you know, find time to stock it up. Find time to put up everything and stock it up, clean it up, filter everything. Shit. I really loved, the best thing in Whataburger is being the grill cook. The grill cook is the best. Especially when you're making all those burgers and you gotta transfer and make breakfast. Dude, that's the best time, dude. Sometimes it's not packed, but sometimes it gets packed like a motherfucker, dude. You're making pancakes, I was stocking stuff, I was labeling it. Oh man. Whataburger's pretty chill, dude. But that's what happens when you don't have the workers. I wish I would have went back and worked at Taco Bell. But I was only making $10.50 as a food champion, team trainer. And then I got Whataburger, and then I went to Laredo Taco. That's when hell broke out for me there. I loved Laredo Taco, dude. Not like loved it. It wasn't because of the people. It was because I had working at Laredo Taco, and then there's the cashier area was a cool place, man. It's kind of like Subway, you know. And people just come in and they order their food, right? And you're like, okay, and you go. I would go type it in what they wanted, print it out, tell them, hey man, take it over there. And then as soon as the ticket brought out, I would make it. I would roll the tortillas, I'd put them on the grill, take the ticket, put it on the bag, make their food, put it in the tray, or make it into a taco, wrap it up, and then they come back with the ticket already stamped and paid for. Like, here you go, done. And it was cool too, dude. You either worked at 3 to 11 o'clock in the morning, 3 in the morning to 11 o'clock, or you worked from 6 to 2, or you worked from 7 to 2, 6 to 2, 7 in the morning to 2 o'clock, or you work it from 11 to 7. Not bad, dude. I already knew how to close it and open it. Easiest fucking shit. And eventually you'd be by yourself. But I love the 3 to 11s. Everyone loved 3 to 11s, dude. And the lady that taught me, she taught me how to cook all the food. She taught me how to cook every breakfast item, how to warm it up, how to make this, how to make how to make carne picada, how to make picadillo, how to make carne guisada. And then they showed me how to put up all the inventory in case it came. Show me how to wash all the dishes really good. I already knew that. Show me how to make everything on the oven and keep everything in the. And then she showed me how to make lunch. So I would make all. So I'd go in at 3. I would go in at 10. Oh, hold on. If I had to go in at 3 in the morning, I'd go in at 2:50 a.m. No, I'm sorry. 2:45 a.m. Clock in. Get everything ready, turn everything on, because it takes about a good 15-20 minutes to get everything nice and heated. And I would turn on the heat wells, put the water in there. I turn on the heat bins, the oven, the thing where you put the food in, it keeps it warm. And then I would start cooking. I would turn on the grill, wait, put a little oil on the grill, and I would make all my food. I would make all my breakfast stuff. Eggs, la mexicana, eggs, potatoes. If we had potatoes left over, I would have to drop fresh potatoes. And then I would take out about 3 or 4 things of masa, because it came in a bin, stacked up with masa balls, so you can roll them and turn them into tortillas. You take them out of the cooler. It's already hard. You're gonna have a hard fucking time getting them rolled out. But if you leave them out, they get a little soft. So I would have time to cook and we didn't open up until like 4 in the morning. 4 in the morning is when we opened up and took orders. So I had a good hour to cook everything. And I would cook my eggs and bacon, cook my bacons. I would have somebody else come in, and they wouldn't cook. They would help me roll tortillas. They would help me they would help me cook some stuff if I couldn't, but they would it was a lovely lady that did the she did the pre-mades. So she would make the salads, and she'd help me make the bacon, and she'd help me roll the tortilla. She'd help me make all the stuff out there for the, if people wanted burritos or crunchy wraps or whatever the fuck, you know, when you pick and go. And she'd help me make foods. And I would cook everything. Make the barbacoa, came in a package, warmed it up. Make the beans, come in a package, put it in water, microwaved it. Make every egg product. And then if I had time, by 4 o'clock, these men would come in waiting. I said, fuck, man, I'm not even done yet. And they would always choose the barbacoa, something that I wasn't finished yet. I said, okay, cool. Wash my hands, take it off, put new gloves. And I give them whatever they wanted. No homo. And then I told them it'd take a while. They said, okay, they waited. And then started on my day, and then I would get some customers. I'd be like, man, I gotta finish this, but I didn't have to worry about it because I had the rest of the day. And then as soon as 6 or 7 o'clock in the morning came around, it kind of slowed down, and I kind of like broke stuff down, because by 11 o'clock you got to change it to your lunch. And I would be like, okay, I'm only making a certain amount of what sells, and I'm keeping what sells, and I'm keeping less of what doesn't. And then if it got too busy, the workers from the other side would come over and they'd help put in the order, or they would help make it. And I told them, I was always ring it up, tell them to go over there, bring it up, and I would go over there, put the ticket, make it, all right. The lady would come over and just hand it. And my homie, my friend that worked with me too, he didn't cook, but he was always in the back. He was always making like burritos and stuff, rolled tortillas and stuff like that, help make food. He was really good. He was fast too. We were both fast as shit. And I loved it from 3 to 11, dude. I would get out early, come home, do what I wanted to do, go to sleep by 5 or 6, get up by, and then do the same thing. And then when it's time for me to have a day off, I'll be off by 11. I have the rest of the day, and then be off for 2 days or 1 day, and then go back to work, go to sleep early, you know what I mean? Worried about my money. And then I would have to, by 6 or 7 or 8, I would have to get, if it's time was slow, I would have to make my lunch. They said, what do you want to make for lunch? I said, shit, I'll put a couple of chicken thighs out. And she'd leave a list of what I had to do. I had to make pico de gallo, I had to make rice, I had to make queso, the melted queso with the spices in it, the spicy queso dip. I had to make the chicken. I would take the chicken, rub it with the rub, put it in the oven, let it cook, make my rice. And you had to make it really dry rice. You couldn't make really wet, soggy rice. And you know, the chicken would come out, I would put it, wrap it up, put it in the oven thing, and then once it was done, you know, I would help do my pre-mates for the next day, tomorrow, organize and do my you know, like a bag of and I would help like pre-make bacons and put it in a bag. I would make my jalapeno poppers. I would put them in, put them out there, and then I would make my pico de gallo. Easy to make picadillo. And you take 2 big things of meat, no homo, put it in the pot, take the bags off, let it cook in the water, And then once it's cooking and you like, you know that the meat goes down, and then you like take your spatula or whatever, not your spatula, but your, you know, whatever, and then you crush it in there so the meat's soaking in the water. You let it cook for a minute, and then you put in your seasonings. I will put enough seasoning in, mix it around, put your tomato sauce, put your seasoning, and then just let it cook. And once it was fully cooked, the meat, I would take a little bit, put it in a cup, try it out. It needs a little bit more seasoning, let it cook a little bit more, stir it around. Take it out, taste it, good. Then I would take a bag of potatoes, half of it, put some and fry it, pick it up, and then that's what we used in the morning. We fry the potatoes. Whatever was left over, if we had to make more, we put it in the pico de gallo. We mix it all together. We mix it in the carne picada. And it was a fun time, dude. Then I would take the carne guisada, and I would have to wait for that to cool down. So I had to make everything, wait for that to cool down, continuously take temperatures of it, so that way when it cools down, I can put it up. And then I would have to take temperatures of it, put it on ice and let it temperature out, so that way, and stir it, so that way it goes down at a certain temperature, so to put it up. Oh, and then I would have to do the same thing with the carne guisada. The carne guisada, I just had to tear it out and then let it cook and then put some seasoning in it, and that was it. Sometimes I'd make green sauce with the carne guisada, make carne guisada verde. And then we had another dude that would do all the other little stuff. And then my friend would come and make the burritos and stuff like that, or I had somebody else, they would help me out, make food, make the burritos and everything on the other side. And she'd make the salads and the parfaits, and you know, we'd go back and forth, dude. And then by the time it's 11 o'clock, I say, look, I already got breakfast made. It's already done. And you had to weigh it out. At the end of the night, the person had to weigh it out, throw it away what was wasted, and then they calculate how much was wasted. Me, I said, and then you would have to change out. And then you would have to like change out your thing, so that way most of it's clean. And I was doing that too. And even when I had finished everything, made my lunch, my dinner, my lunch and my dinner, even when I had to change out the frying oil, you know, I had to change out the oil of the fryers, or help put up the inventory, or help clean, because then we'd have the manager come in and she'd take over with somebody else. And I said, you know what, I already made everything. She says, oh yeah? I said, yeah. And she wanted me to be one of the managers too. I said, fuck no. And I said, I'm gonna take everything out. I'm gonna pull everything out, because when it got slow, or when there was people, but it wasn't that much, and I had finished everything, I did everything, I would pull stuff out. I would go behind and I'd wipe it down. I put degreaser on the floor, mop it up, sweep it and mop it, keep it clean. When inspection came, I said, damn, it's clean. I go clean the windows, clean the tables. I just kept busy, dude. By the time it was time for me to leave, I was done. And then they were like, my friends were like, hey, all he does is open and close. That's what he said he wanted to do. They're like, yeah, Eric, why don't you start closing? I started closing. They started opening the store. And I still knew how to do the stuff when I closed it. I still had time to clean it. I still had time to do all my normal stuff. Dude, the people who saw me work it there, they'd be like, yeah, man, he kept himself busy working. But then when I got hit with this horrible witchcraft and gang stalking and manipulation and targeted individual, the smear campaign came. Like, oh, he's a this and he's that, and oh, he's lazy. Look, he's giving out wrong orders, and look, he's. At first they were like, man, we like this dude. I didn't do shit, dude. I didn't do fucking shit to nobody, man. I only made fun of my friends. I didn't do shit to nobody, bro. I lost a good job, man. It wasn't that good. It was still a good enough job where if I made enough hours, I was getting paid 1,400, 1,500 a check. And my friends were like, that must be nice, Eric. It must be nice. I said, bitch, come in and work. Always my fault, dude. There was always somebody that didn't fucking like me for some reason, dude. Screwed everything up. And it was okay. Then I left, went through the hardest fucking shit in my life, found another job, had to leave to take care of my mother. And then my mother comes out of the coma. Everything's okay. I had to leave to take care of my mom. I figured I'd just look for another job. A couple months later, in the new year, in May, I lose my eyesight. I said, Lord, why? Why did you have me lose my sight? Man. Always me, man. Always fucking me, man. Always fucking me, man. Always me. Always me. But you know what? Beggars never... I'm not gonna cry about shit. Did all my crying when my mother was in the hospital. And nobody gave a fuck. Everyone smiled in my face. Had no sign of compassion. Made fun and didn't care. They didn't give a fuck. But they want me to give a fuck when something happens to them, right? Always my fault. Eric, we don't like you. You're a fucking asshole. You talk too much shit. Wasn't angry when I started working out until I started thinking about all the things that I went through, which is unfair. It's so fucking unfair. It's not fair. But that's the way life is. As a man, you gotta deal with it. As a man, no one's gonna come and save you. You know? If it was a woman going through this, she might get more sympathy. She might get other people to try to help her. But as a man, no one gives a fuck, dude. That's why men's mental health is at an all-time high. No one gives a fuck about how the fella's doing. No one comes up and says, hey man, you doing alright, man? For real, for real. Nope. We're told to hold in your emotions. You let out a little bit, you're weak, you're wuss. You just gotta find a way to deal with it yourself. Fuck you. Especially when you don't have anything, you know, when you hit really rock bottom and you're in the most embarrassing place and you're trying desperately to get out and everyone's keeping you locked in because they don't want you to succeed, to show your true potential to others. Knowing that you're a good worker, knowing that you work hard, knowing that you stay out of people's business, knowing that you just joke around, knowing that you just focus on money, knowing that you just... I don't lie. I don't steal from anybody. I don't cheat anybody. I don't hurt anybody. If I'm not provoked, I'm really a nice and chill person. I just don't understand. Fuck it. Tired of telling people. Tired of being provoked and harassed and humiliated. Tired of everything, dude. And they're like, well, you'll lose everything. Oh, well. You can get hurt. Oh, well. No one gives a fuck. Getting tired, bro. Had a fun time working at Laredo too, because me and my friends were smoking weed. I'm not glorifying it. We'd smoke weed after we come home from work. I come home from work with my parents, and I'm living with my parents, and I'd smoke up and smoke some bud, and I go straight to playing video games after I was done. I know, right? A grown man, right? But I'm telling you, all the bills were paid. Everything was good. And then I'd hang out with my friends on the video games, you know, on Xbox Live Party Chat, just talking, having a good time. And, you know, everyone's having a good time. And one of them would be at work. And then my friend would be like, hey, man, you want to come over, man? Let's smoke. All right, let's hang out and smoke. And we'd hang out and smoke for hours on end, dude. And then it's just a bunch of bullshit, man. And then I'd have a day off and I'd go places and I'd be really high on indica, really strong indica, dro, like gelato and Wookiees and purple punch and Superman OG and purple OG Kush and Venom OG. You know, I'd be really fucking high, walking around like gliding and shit. And people would look at me like, and they could smell it on me. It got to the point where this is why I don't want to go back to smoking weed, because I didn't have anything to do most of the time and I didn't know how to handle my emotions. I would just smoke my feelings away. So I'd wake up in the morning, I'd smoke after I ate breakfast, because you smoke and you're gonna eat, you're gonna bring down your high. And I'd smoke after I ate, gave it a couple minutes, started smoking weed. And then I'd be high, either playing video games or going out with my family. And I hated going out with my family or going somewhere where I didn't want to be. I don't drive under the influence. And I'd be like, I can't smoke, man. Fuck it. I was 30, fucking a grown man. 29, 30. And I said, shit, man. I would smoke almost every hour. As soon as it went away, smoke it again. And I would get about 9 or 10 grams of marijuana. And I wasn't like my friends smoking it constantly. I would get a weed pipe and I put it in there with a catch. And then I'd smoke a couple of hits high. I was like, yeah, listen to music, play video games. Man, I was on earth, man. I was just chilling. And as soon as it started dissipating, I'd smoke it again. And I would get real thirsty and I'd drink a lot of Kool-Aid or water. I was getting heavy. And I was like, oh man. You know, I was like, I'm hungry. And I went in, I would get me the honey buns or the snacks, fruits. And then it would go down again. And I would smoke it until I got tired and I would sleep. I'd wake up, and if I had the next day off, I'd do the same thing all over again. I was just high. My friends were like, what are you doing, man? I was like, shit, I'm smoking, dude. They're like, for real. That's why I don't want to be under the influence of alcohol or drugs, dude. Because it just takes if you have a certain, now that I'm going through so much, and I went through so much hurt, I don't need I need therapy. I don't need drugs. And if I smoke, I would smoke my problem away, which means I go back to gaining weight. I go back to being overweight from overeating, doing nothing, not cleaning up, and I'm not having a job, and I'm blind, and I'm not doing anything. I don't want people to say, well, he's not working because he's legally blind. All he does is smoke weed and play video games. Nah. At least want people to say, well, at least he's working out, man. At least, you know, at least he's trying to find ways to make money, man. You know what I mean, guys? Just hate it, man. It's always my fucking fault, and I ain't do a fucking thing, dude. I ain't do a thing to nobody. Nobody. If they talk to me in a way, or they yelled at me in a way, I'll do it right back to them, dude. glad everything happened to me instead of my friends, man. I don't think my friends could handle going through what I'm going through. Bless the name of the Lord that is Jesus. Take care, y'all. Let me read the comments first. Alright, it was nice talking to y'all.